You're looking at a picture of thin steel bars in front of a cockpit door. That's a security measure that doesn't yet exist in American airliners. But some say that it should. In fact, they say it's long overdue, nearly 13 years after 9/11. And that's our unfinished story tonight. Malaysian investigators said this week that all 227 passengers on Flight 370 have been cleared of any wrongdoing. That does not include the 12 crew members. The truth is, we don't know, and we may never know, if someone who didn't belong in that cockpit broke into it 4 weeks ago tonight. Malaysian Airlines say it has increased cockpit security in the wake of Flight 370, but my next guest says they're still far behind U.S. airlines in this respect. Captain John Barton is a pilot for a major airline, also a legislative representative of the Airline Pilots Association, ALPA for short. And Mr. Barton, let me begin, as a matter of fact, by discussing ALPA, because ALPA today released a press statement and they called for several improvements, but two things that they did not call for. They did not call for increasing the 2-hour recording capabilities, nor did ALPA call for cockpit placing of cameras in cockpits. Can you speak to those two issues? Why not increase the length of time that would be recorded from the 2 hours?
Well, Mike, obviously you know that I've been working legislative issues with the Coalition of Families and Ellen Saraceni on the Hill. But those two issues there, it wouldn't, a video camera in the cockpit or increased video or voice recorder time would not have any more answers to this situation that happened with Malaysian Air. So I don't know why we want to increase the recording devices that are coming from the airplane already when we can't find the airplane.
But if there were real-time transmission of data, presumably there'd be no mystery right now. We might not know where the plane exists, but we'd certainly know what brought about this circumstance.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think that any of the video recording equipment would be real-time in the future if they did go to that type of a system. But there's so many reporting parameters that can be sent from airplanes that apparently Malaysian Airlines did not have, that ALPA spoke about that in their press release also. So, you know, the bottom line is when it comes back to it is the work that we've been doing has been to secure the cockpit. And one thing that we definitely know is that someone could have gotten into the cockpit in less than 2 seconds.
And John Barton, you've flown a 777. I want to make sure that the audience appreciates that fact, because for the rest of us who are on the outside looking in, trying to understand a subject about which you have plenty of expertise. In what ways, sir, are the Malaysians not up to snuff with regard to U.S. standards?
Well, one of the things that was disturbing that we found out that in the past 10 years, pilots had taken people into the cockpit. At first, to most American pilots, they were shocked that someone would be brought up to the cockpit during flight. For over 25 years, U.S. regulations have not allowed us to do that. So that was kind of a shocker, but then it wasn't when we found out that they had no procedures on that. We don't really know what their procedures are for protecting the cockpit when the pilots have to come out of the cockpit. We know that they allowed one pilot to be alone in the cockpit, which we don't do. 2 people are always in on the flight deck when someone leaves. And we don't know what their procedures for, and they're not going to tell you because it's sensitive information, what they do when that door opens. As you know, in the United States, we either have a flight attendant that is standing in the aisle, there is the cart with the flight attendant behind it, and then there's, of course, these secondary barriers, which Ellen Saraceni and the Airline Pilots Association have been fighting for on the Hill.
Time and again, we've watched the images of I'll phrase it this way, the 2 left turns. The map that comes up, there's the plane's route. Here are the 2 turns that presumably it made. As someone with experience flying a 777, how do you interpret that? What do you make of it?
Well, it's obviously strange. Something's wrong. Either the pilot initiated it or someone from outside the cockpit got in and initiated it. It's a definite that someone actually made the airplane do this. They could have done it 2 ways. They could have put information into the computer to make the plane fly in that direction, or they could have just simply turned the heading knob in the direction that they wanted to go.
John Barton, thank you for your expertise. We appreciate it.
Thank you.